Hey, can we talk? I have something important and really interesting I'd like to share with you. My sister and I have been working on a curriculum. It's been years in the making, and we're excited to finally present it to you. It's a course on this common, universal, unavoidable part of relationships, which is difficult conversations. How to ask each other for what we want, or share our confusions about why are you acting that way? Or let me explain why I'm acting this way. How do you think about things? This isn't for just anyone. Some people are not in enough pain at the moment, feeling like their relationships could be better or their conversations could be better. Some people have other things that they have to do right now besides invest in this important part of their lives. And we will be here for anyone who's not ready now but might be ready later. Some people feel like things are going well enough as they are, and some people don't think that relationships can get any better. They think that conversations just are what they are, and we have to get along um, with the way that it is. But to you, for whom this invitation speaks, we'd like to offer a powerful and effective curriculum, rigorously grounded in psychology, neuroscience, years of clinical experience, and our own personal journeys, our emotional paths of finding our way through that important part of life, which is emotional relationship. And with that, we welcome you to our program. Can we talk? A simple and effective guide to having safe and yet ambitious adult conversation. As mentioned earlier, confusion, misunderstanding, pain in relationships, these are natural, normal, inevitable parts of being around each other. All the various perspectives and opinions and stories that we have that we bring to the conversation when we interact with each other, they're not always recognized for the rich and valuable gifts that they are. A lot of times we'd rather just spend time with people that are just like us, who think like us, and who live like us. This prevents us from having to reconsider our own lives, our own ways of thinking, and it's a kind of echo chamber or bubble that makes us feel safe and comfortable and reassured that we're thinking about things and doing things the right way. But spending time with people who think and live differently than us can therefore be a valuable, even if uncomfortable, way. It's an uncomfortable feeling that might be valuable to explore. But we have to work for it because we get triggered when people are different from us, when they disagree with us, when we disagree with them. There are emotional experiences that we have that make the conversations not go as well as they could. So it's ambitious to plan to improve the quality of your conversations and of your relationships. It's ambitious by definition to plan to improve the quality of your life. But that's not because it can't be done. It's just that it's rarely done because it takes time and attention. It takes sustained vision of some better end result, some better end state. And there's so many distractions. Life as it is right now is pretty good. And so it takes a decreased tolerance or increased standard. We have to say, I want things to be better. Things are good now, but there's ways I want them to be better. And that takes persistent work and planning, including facing how things are not the way we want them to be right now. There's a lot of distractions that keep things as they are, and the inertia of the status quo requires us to hold a vision of the future steady, while our past, our familiar routines and habits and commitments oftentimes hold us back. A helpful motivation is how good it feels to have those heartwarming conversations where people can easily share with each other. Even if we don't agree, we can still share with each other what we need, how we see things, what we want from each other. And so the particulars we don't have to agree on, but what we do agree on is that we want the best for each other and that that's felt during the conversation. We can contrast this sort of healthy conversation with a prototypical unhealthy conversation that's riddled with mistrust, accusation, hostility, aggression, needing to prove oneself right rather than opening up the doors to everyone else's perspective. So the destructive and toxic effect on the social fabric that this kind of an unhealthy conversation has is often justified by people saying, well, I'm just telling it like it is, or you have to break eggs to make omelets. But on closer inspection, we often find a kind of commitment to being right or blaming or accusing the other person rather than to really letting the conversation thrive and have a sense of safety, a sense of a place where everyone in the conversation is able to express themselves and grow. This is a learned skill, and that is what we're teaching in this course here. It's possible that even now, through the words I've spoken and the ideas I've shared here, that you're having some stirrings of memories, conversations that went better than you thought they would, or conversations that went worse than you thought. There might be conversations that you want to have right now in your life that you don't know how to have, that you're reluctant to have. I remember in my many years of studying that I developed this bad habit of going back and studying the things that I already knew very well rather than daring to open the chapters that I was unfamiliar with. And it's like that in life. We oftentimes just want to do the familiar things that we know we're pretty good at, rather than to feel the humility of learning to walk again, learning to speak again. And that's what this is. This really is a set of languages and practices, inner and outer practices that just require repetition, but which have major payoffs in the sense of healing relationships and improving our own ability to know what we need in life and how to go get it, whether we ask someone else for it or we build it ourselves. So it's understandable that the most important work and conversations and relationships are the ones we're daunted by, and that's what this course is specifically designed to address. So we can all start doing that important work of repair and rebuilding. After all, we're all just trying to feel better. We're trying to get educated, we're trying to work hard, we're trying to learn how the world works, learn how we work, so that we can feel better and help each other feel better. But then why do so many of our interactions with each other end up having the opposite result? Confusion or bitterness or ill will and bad feelings. This course is not about avoiding complaints and disagreements, protests and requests. It's about addressing them as adults rather than children. The idea is that we're still bringing so many of our more childish habits and commitments into relationships, like passive aggression or manipulation, using anger, blame, shame to express our dissatisfaction with each other. There are better tools available, and they're not that hard to recognize as valuable and available to onboard. Now, it's true that the difficulties in our lives are often caused by other people, that other people misbehave and are confused or ignorant, but they're not here. We're here. And so we're interested in the ways that we self-sabotage, or ways in which if we changed our patterns, if we onboarded some new tools, that we could make our own lives better. And it's a kind of leadership. We want to make our own lives better rather than to wait for someone else to come rescue us. And as we do that, we might find ourselves in good company with the kinds of people who are also doing that and taking responsibility in their own lives and building their own futures proactively. So with that, I'm very excited to welcome you to this course. And, you know, co-regulation with another person, the ability to have one's own peace, one's own confidence, and then share that with another person is a beautiful gift. So my sister, Dr. Anahita Nawab Holden is going to present to us in the next module an exercise for really finding resource within rather than looking for it outside, asking someone else to change their behavior so that we can feel okay. There is a time and place to do that, and we will get to that. But leadership does have a kind of solitude and unconditional centeredness to it. So I'm really excited for Anahita to walk us through this exercise in the next module. Thank you.